Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Amzile, and as you can read from the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking about how can we overcome being lonely whilst single. Yes, how can we overcome being lonely as a single? This video is going to be for you who wants to be in a relationship, who wants to stop being lonely. Some of us aren't able to actually overcome this feeling of loneliness. So without further ado, let me get right into the video. Now, to begin with, we need to know what is loneliness. Now, loneliness is a feeling of depression resulting from having no friends or companions. It's being unhappy because you don't have, friends, you don't have contact with other people. That could be loneliness. It's you feeling like you've been isolated from other people and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, being lonely is not the best feeling ever. Like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, but unfortunately, most people have experienced being lonely. A lot of people around the world. I don't know if there is a person who hasn't felt lonely before, but at times it does happen. And in the Bible, we have a lot of people who've been lonely. I could just name a few: Moses, Elijah, Jeremiah, David, Hannah. There are a lot of people in the Old and in the New Testament that were lonely. And the best thing about this is that the people that I've mentioned, they were able to overcome loneliness. I mean, you can research and make a lot of research of people who were lonely and now they've overcome being lonely, and especially as singles, they have overcome being lonely, and they fulfilled their dreams whilst being single. So to know about that, it gives a lot of people courage that we can still be single and not being lonely. So there's a difference between being alone and lonely. Being alone, you can be alone yet still not lonely, but you can be lonely whilst not being alone. You get me? So you can have people but still feel lonely, but you also cannot feel lonely while still having nobody. So those are two different things. But today I'm not going to be talking about loneliness or what alone, being alone. I'm going to be talking about loneliness. So for us to overcome loneliness, we need to know what actually causes us to be lonely. So the first thing is when circumstances changes, family background, hostility, and as well as spiritually. Now I'm also going to explain all of the points as I go on into the video, but it's important, like as I repeat, it's important for you to know where does your loneliness come from. If you feel like you're alone, you're lonely, you need to be even deeper on what causes you to feel a certain void or feeling alone. The first point is when circumstances change. Now this could be if you change schools, if you change your workplace, or change to another country. And when you get there, you know nobody. So you're gonna feel lonely. You're gonna be lonely. If you change with your family and stuff like that, you go to a new school, new workplace, you're gonna feel lonely. Especially if people from that place aren't as welcoming and they don't give you a warm welcome, you're gonna feel alone. You're gonna feel you're gonna feel lonely. So yes, that could cause loneliness. The reason that causes us to be lonely whilst married or single is our family, whether it could be your family background. I remember reading a passage say that you can be married but still lonely. So technically, being lonely is not about you being single alone, but it's about what's inside of you, what's happening. That's why I say it's important for you to analyze and to find out where does this loneliness come from. So It could be also your family background, meaning maybe you don't have a relationship with your father or your mother, or even though you have it, it might be not very strong. Maybe you see your mother there and there, you see your father there and there. You might have a very poor relationship with your relatives. This causes loneliness, guys. I am not gonna lie to you, because our family members are the first people that we form relationships with. We form the relationship with our family members because they're the people that we get to see every single day. When we are born, we go to them, whether adopted family or biological family. Your family are the people that you actually form a relationship with. So if you have a poor relationship with either your relatives or your parents, it's gonna eventually cause you to feel lonely. That is why most of the time you might be surrounded by a lot of people that you love, but it still feel that void, you still feel lonely. That's because it might be that you didn't have a good relationship with either your mother or your father. Now, sometimes it's not our fault that we don't have those perfect and good relationships with our parents. But the thing is, you need to change the causes of loneliness first. You know the causes that you're able to actually overcome. So for you to start feeling lonely, is what the loneliness feeling is from family members, which it is not your fault most of the time, but you can actually work on yourself and actually try not to get a good relationship with your parents. So it's important for you to notice, to know that sometimes it's not your fault. It's not at all your fault that maybe either your parents don't want you or don't want to be near you, but you just need to know, you just need to be able to fight that loneliness, because it does come. Most of the time, we tend to go out to seek, our parents in relationships. So it's a psychology actually. You tend to go and seek our parents in relationships. Maybe if you're dating a guy, you're going to want to seek the father figure. Of if you're dating a girl, for you to fill that void, you're gonna want to seek that mother figure in your girlfriend. Most of the time it actually does ruin your boyfriend and girlfriend relationships. So the third reason is hostility. Like, this is a feeling of being hostile. It means that when you're aggressive, mean, and stuff like that. I mean, we've watched a lot of movies, a lot of cartoon movies, whereby there's that old man who is, mean and aggressive and stuff like that. Now, that is caused by disappointments. Maybe you've trusted people a lot whilst growing up and you've been disappointed. This is gonna lead to this state, and you're going to become angry and you're going to push people away. Just want to be lonely because you believe that every single person is going to disappoint you. You have no trust in any human being. You have no children, you have no family, you have no friends, you have no nothing. That also causes loneliness. And in Genesis 2 verse 18, it states clearly that we need other human beings. I am not saying that, I'm trying to say that you can still be with people and still be lonely and still be alone while still being lonely. You can be with people and still be lonely and still be alone and still be lonely. So it's very important for us to actually know that we need other people. And sometimes we know that, okay, we can do things alone, we can survive alone, but at the end of the day, you need that one friend, you need that, and stuff like that. So hostility does cause you to be lonely because you push other people away, you just don't want to be near people, and it's okay because it's not your fault. Sometimes it starts from your foundation. If it starts from your childhood, back from your childhood, it's going to be hard for you to actually overcome this hostility feeling. But You need to, because if you want to stop being lonely, you need to overcome the feeling. Now, the other reason is spirituality. Yes, that could cause you to be lonely. And I feel like I've been in that state where I've been lonely and I worked things out. I went out and searched what causes me to have this void. Then I found out it's my spirituality. So to begin with, I'm not gonna lie, it's important for you to form a relationship with God if you want to stop being lonely. Because He's our creator. He formed us in our mother's womb. He knows us. Now, we didn't choose our family members. So for you to overcome this feeling of loneliness, it would be important for you. It would be important for you to choose God, because He's gonna fill that void of being alone. Over the past this past year, there was this thing of you are your own God, you are a God, and also you are your own God, and stuff like that. So in the Bible, it's written that you cannot serve two masters. You cannot have two masters. It's either you're gonna hate one and respect the other. So now, that last year, I was like, I'm my own God. I can create my own reality alone. So I had that mentality, meaning I treated myself as a God, and I pushed God away, because you cannot serve two masters. So that eventually made me to become lonely. So it's important for us to actually know which God are you going to serve. Are you going to serve yourself, or are you going to serve God? There is a thing that, okay, I'm not saying you should not take care of yourself, but there is a thing that I am my own God. You don't rely on nobody. That is gonna cause you to be lonely. I'm not gonna lie to you, because our God is our friend. He's our creator. He's our Father, and most of all, He is our Lord. So it's important for you to actually form a relationship with God, or else you're gonna feel spiritually drained, which is going to cause you to be lonely. And loneliness opens doors to a lot of things. It might be depression, anxiety, sexual immorality, etc. There is a lot of things that loneliness could open doors for. So if you want to overcome loneliness, if you want to overcome loneliness, you need to form a spiritual relationship with your Father. Our spiritual life is our higher selves. So it's important for us to take care of our spiritual life, our spiritual journey. Choose God in order for you to be free. Because if you don't, and if you keep on telling yourself, I can do this by myself, darling, you're gonna feel lonely. You're gonna feel lonely and burnt out. He can set us free. Other things that could lead us to be lonely could be our expectations and our social factors. Being single can make us become lonely, and we tend to think that if we get into a relationship with a certain person, or if we are in a relationship, or if we have certain friends, or get that certain job, we will be able to overcome this feeling. But most of the time, it is not the case. The case is for you to make an introspection and to know what causes your loneliness. So now I'm going to be giving you guys tips on how can we overcome loneliness. Now the first, actually 8 reasons to overcome loneliness. Now the first reason is we should make peace with God and rest in His love. If you know that somebody loves you, when you know that somebody loves you, you are going to feel that void. For human beings, it's impossible. It's not. If you have family members could love you. Relatives could love you as well. But people are people. People are people. But if you have that one person that you know that no matter what you do, they will always love you, it's going to fill that void, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you, I don't know if it has happened to you, but have a boyfriend or a friend, or a human, any human being, a girlfriend, sometimes it does get to your mind that what if this person changes? Because I mean, a person is a person changes, but God is always constant. He's constant, his love is constant. So if you know that God is never going to change on you, if you know that God is never going to change on you, that's the first point, that you will be able to overcome loneliness. Because a human being can change, guys. They can a human being can change, okay? A human being can change on you. So for God, that's different. But to build a firm relationship with God, if you're able to build a firm relationship with God, you will be able to build any kind of relationship, okay? Any kind of relationship you're able to build. So if you want a firm relationship, if you want to get married one day, perhaps you need to build a firm relationship with God, and that way your marriage will work out. If you want to have a best friend, you should form a relationship with God in order for you to sustain that friendship. If you want to have a best friend, if you want to have a relationship, a friendship, you should build a firm foundation with God, and you'll be able to actually build any kind of relationship, and they would last forever. Yeah. Now the third reason is meditate on the word. Meditate on the word. Don't just read it. Read your Bible, okay? Read your Bible. Number 4, help others. The sense of giving. I know that as females, we receive and males give. But sometimes if you give, the feeling of giving somebody, it feels so good. For me, it feels so good. I love giving. It feels so good because at some point you feel that joy that you helped somebody, you help somebody out and stuff like that. So help other people. It's gonna make you overcome that feeling of loneliness. You're gonna see you can help a lot of people. Don't just be a taker, because if you're a taker, it could also lead to loneliness. I'm not gonna lie, because if you're always taking and you can't give back, people are going to distance themselves from you, okay? If you can't give back, or if you can't even give, people are going to distance themselves from you. Be a giver as well, not just a taker. Another thing, exercise. It helps with your mentality, and you're going to feel confident in yourself. Okay, sometimes loneliness could also, you're going to be comfortable in yourself. Sometimes if you're not confident with your body, it can make you distance yourself from people, which is going to cause you to be lonely. Okay, you're gonna feel like, oh, I don't have that snatched waist, my body is not toned and stuff like that, so I'm not going to go way with other people. I'm not going to be seen with them because they have the perfect body and stuff like that. If you want to be confident, exercise. Okay, exercise. Don't blame others. Okay, don't blame others just because you had a poor family background, you had a poor relationship with your family members. Don't blame other people. Don't complain. Do not complain. Okay, we're as if you're watching this video right now, you are responsible for your own happiness. Don't blame other people. If you're watching this video, you're responsible for your happiness. Again, you're responsible. Don't blame other people, and don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. If you feel that a relationship ended and it's because of you, don't blame yourself, because that leads to resenting yourself, and we don't want that, right? You don't want to resent yourself. You don't want to resent yourself. You need to love yourself. So don't blame yourself or others. Be positive, be a positive person. Smile often. Okay, smile often. That resting face, that resting B face, no guys, no. Smile. Be positive. Be positive in a point whereby when people are around you, they feel that aura of being, positive, feeling of joyfulness, smiling. Be joyful as well. Joyfulness and smiling. They're gonna feel that. And people wanna be next to people who are positive. They wanna be next to, not personally, I love being next to somebody who smiles. Okay, who's able to smile actually. No, not like smiling everywhere in the streets, you're smiling. No, I mean like you're able to smile. There are some people who can't smile because they believe that they should be serious, you know. So be able to smile. You should be able to be joyful. Nothing can beat being joyful. It also helps you to age slower. Okay, being joyful helps you to age slower. I'm a living proof of aging slower. People are always amazed when I tell them my real age. They're like, "You're this age. I mean, you look 10 years younger." Like, yes, I'm a living proof. So be joyful. Be joyful. If you be joyful, it's gonna shine right through you. There's a difference between being joyful and happy. So be joyful. It's gonna shine right through you. Now, over to you. If you have been lonely and you were able to overcome the feeling of being lonely, how did you do it? Please comment down below, and please add your own points if you think I missed out something. I love reading the comments, guys. Really, really, really love reading the comments. And another thing, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell in order for you to know when I post new videos.